In today's Scrap Buster tutorial, we're going to make a card holder. This is the happiest Scrap Buster I've done to date, not only because it involves making something really fun, but also because it involves some upcycling. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we will need for our project today. I've laid out everything we're going to need for our project today, and many of these items come in sets of 2. We have 2 pieces of quilt cotton, 8.5-inch squares, 2 pieces of fusible fleece, also cut into 8.5-inch squares, 2 buttons. I've chosen 3/4-inch or 20mm buttons, and 2 old CDs. In addition, we'll need some heavy-duty thread and a needle. To go with that thread, I've chosen a denim thread. You could also use an upholstery thread or a thread made especially for buttons. We have some fabric scissors, fabric pen, pinking shears, and a heat press or iron, an ironing mat or an ironing board so that we can interface our cotton. And then I have printed out my template. This template is free in the description below, or you can make your own. It's an 8-inch circle. So let's go ahead and get started by interfacing our cotton. As always, for this step, you'll want to follow your manufacturer's instructions because your interfacing may be different than mine. But we will start with our quilt cotton and put it right side down. And then the interfacing should have a side with little adhesive dots. That bumpy side goes down on top of the wrong side of your cotton. And then you'll flip that over and use your heat press or iron to adhere your interfacing. Now that we have our cotton interfaced, we are going to draw our circles and cut them out. I am going to do it from the reverse side just because my circle will show up a little better on that side. And then feel free to use your fabric pen, or any other marker will actually work just fine for this step. We're just going to cut it away anyway. Okay, with our circles drawn, I am going to use a pair of pinking shears to cut those circles out. And I'm going to cut just inside the line that I drew. Okay, I've threaded my needle with a 50-inch piece of thread, and I have doubled it up and tied a knot in the end. And we are ready to go ahead and start our gathering stitch. I am going to start from the underside, the interfacing side of the fabric, about 1 centimeter in from the edge. And my stitches, this is just a really easy straight stitch. They're going to be about 1 centimeter apart. And just follow the curve all the way around. This doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. But this is what we're going for. This is going to help us to gather our circle around our CD. Okay, we have ended right where we began. And now I'm going to grab one of our CDs and center it on our circle, and then cinch it up. And then I'm just going to tie off the end. Okay, our first one is done. Now we're going to do our second CD just like we did the first. Okay, for our final step, I've got my needle threaded just like before with a knot on the end, and I have my 2 CDs, which I'm going to put wrong sides together and just even them up nicely. And I like to take a couple stitches before adding the buttons. Okay, now I've stuck the button through my thread, and I am going to center that button and sew it in place. And on the other side, we will put our other button. And I am just going to keep going in and out, sewing the 2 buttons together. Okay, I am pulling this nice and snug each time I go in and out. Now to close this off, we want to put our needle back through the button, but we don't want it to go through the hole on the other side. We want it to come out just to the side of the hole, but still underneath that other button, because we're going to tie a knot and we want that knot to be hidden. I'm going to cut my needle off, and now I'm going to tie the 2 pieces of thread together several times. Okay, once I've got a couple of good knots in there, I can wrap the thread and then snip it. And tuck it behind the button. And our card holder is ready to use. This particular craft could make a really cute gift idea for families. You could give them as sets, and you could have sports team themed, or different flowers, different hobbies, maybe favorite colors. I can think of all kinds of different options. If you have any ideas, suggestions, or questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. And if you'd like to help my channel, please like and subscribe. And as always, until next time, happy sewing.